Right guys, next head to head, we've got the Nike Vapor Flex. So the one where you can move the cartridge in the middle to either a mid-flight or a low flight against the Mizuno JPX 850 driver with the same sort of concept of design where you can move that central gravity forward and back. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a test today on GC2 with real golf balls and just hit them as I'm hitting them, and then we'll have a look at the end of what figures change, if any. So we're going to see which ones change, which ones fluctuate, which ones are going furthest, which ones are spinning the lowest, which ones are generating the most club head speed, ball speed, etc. So I've had the Nike Vapor Flex fitted. I'll be dead honest with you, I've not had the Mizuno absolutely fitted, but when I did the review, and if you've not seen the review, I hit it very well. So the only difference is we've got the Nike Vapor Flex in 10.5 degrees in the Diamond Extra Stiff, and dead honest with you, I could say it's extra stiff, but it's not. This is a stiff flex, 60 gram, 10.5 degrees, and all the weights on both the Mizuno and the Nike Flex are forward in the face, so as far forward as we can get it. The Mizuno is definitely bigger headed, certainly looks much bigger headed than the Nike Vapor, but let's see how they perform on GC2 hitting real golf balls, and we'll have a look at the figures at the end. I don't think between the extra stiff and the stiff there's going to be a huge level of difference, I really don't, but I just want to do it now while I've got them both here and I'm both, I can test them on the both day. Okay, so Nike Vapor Flex. Both of these two golf clubs do look very good, both different looking from the top of the head. It's not really about the looks this time, it's more about how it's performing. So let's start giving them a hit. So weights all the way forward, 10.5 degrees. Well, that was an incredible start, I'll be honest with you. That felt really good. So I'm going to hit 5 in total of both. I'll hit one more on camera just talking about the club. That felt really good. I'm trying to hit them all, obviously, exactly the same each time as well. So with the weights forward on both, they should be very low spinning golf clubs. That's kind of what we're looking for. They should be very low spinners. Right, let's hit 3 more, and then join me in a second where I'm going to be hitting the Mizuno JPX 850. Right, there's the 5. There was just one in there that I kind of caught a little bit from the bottom, which was a shame because the spin rates did increase, but I'm going to keep all 5 in because that's only fair. We'll have a look now getting onto the Mizuno JPX 850. I'm just going to change the colour of the line so we don't get confused between the two, but 5 shots there that felt pretty decent. Right, JPX 850 time, so with the blue head, I've got both weights again in the front of the face because that's where they're going to probably be performing best for myself, like I did with the Nike Vapor Flex with the weight all the way forward in the face. Very low spinning setting, not always the most forgiving setting, but certainly for distance they're pretty decent settings. Interesting on those 5 there was just a couple that struck slightly from the bottom of the face. So it'll be interesting to see how they perform spin rise. But again, I'm going to keep all 5 in. There's no point in changing it. Right. JPX 850, bigger head. I don't think there's any difference in length of shaft. No, there's no difference at all in length. It's just that the Mizuno is a stiff flex. But I'd rather be honest with you guys rather than this is a stiff flex. It's the one that I've been sent. So let's give it a hit. See how it performs. So you've got the white line there for the Mizuno, just so we can separate the two. Felt good, felt like a nice hit off the face. Felt solid. I don't think this shaft's going to make a huge amount of difference. Right, that's it. 5 in total. That felt really nice. It's a tiny bit to the left, but felt fantastic off the face. Right, let's go 3 more. Then we've got the 5 so we can compare them together. Right, and they're my 5 with the Mizuno. So at 5, it's gone. There was a bit of a push, and the other one just slightly turned into that left corner, but still felt like similar strikes. Still felt very good. So let's pull up the data and see how the 5 with the Nike Vapor Flex has compared to 5 with the Mizuno JPX 850. Let's give it a look. Right, so we've got all the figures up on screen with the Nike Vapor Flex and the Mizuno JPX 850. Let's have a look through the columns and see what's changed between the two, if it has changed. Let's say 10 shots, 5 shots with each that felt similar. There was just a couple with the Nike that I just caught off the bottom groove. So let's see how that's affected things as well. Club head speed, let's have a look. Identical, 109.2, 110.4, no difference at all. But yet the ball speed with the Mizuno is much faster. The ball speed is 157 compared to 153 of the Nike. It's quite a big jump, it's 4 miles per hour jump. So the strike, the efficiency of strike has been much faster, smash factor. Let's then look at the launch angle. In the same lofts, 10.5 degrees, the Nike has on average launched higher, and pretty much every single shot has launched higher as well, not just an odd one, every single one up there has launched higher. Spin rates, this is interesting, this is very interesting actually. Let's start off with the Nike Vapor Flex first. Have a look at the top 3. The top 3 there were fantastic spin rates, some of them really low, 1500. The top 3 were fantastic. They were all hit quite high off the face, quite above the equator line. The bottom 2, so number 4 and 5 shot, they were hit more in the middle of the face, or slightly bottomed, and have jumped up to 2,500. That's not scary spin rates, it's just not as low as what it was getting. So the averages have come out incredibly still at 2,041. That's an incredible average spin rate, considering the last couple weren't quite as high on the face as the first 3. Very interesting. So even off-centered hits there, I feel like the Nike was still spinning pretty good. So look at Mizuno. So the averages for the Mizuno was 2,297. So a fraction higher, 300 RPM higher, but was more consistently higher. They're all there in between 2,000, 2,500 spin rates, more consistently higher. Peak heights, the Nike was peaking out a little bit higher, 42 yards up in the air compared to 40. There is a high one there with the Nike Vapor Flex, the last one that went 50, so that's bumped the average up, so about the same peak height. Carry distance, this is where the money's made now. The carry distance, a Nike Vapor Flex carried at 270 yards for a total distance of 295. So good hits, very good hits. The longest one carried at 278 for 307 yards total distance. That's a big hit. That was the one that hit the first, the low spin, the high launch. Then we have a look at the Mizuno. The Mizuno, with higher spin, but with faster ball speed, has travelled further. It's travelled 274 yards in the air and a total distance of 297. So average carry distance was higher, average total distance was higher, but more consistently higher. I wouldn't say that one of the Mizuno there has stood out to be massively longer. They were just more consistently longer. Rights and lefts, again, I've mentioned that in other videos, that was more down to me. You could maybe take a little bit of that extra stiff shaft for the Nike Vapor Flex, was a little bit straighter, but take that as you wish. You know, I'm going to leave that to you guys to decide. It felt exactly the same. I'm going to then leave the figures on club head data up on the screen. And guys, if you're interested in that, feel free to dive through all that, have a look at where on the strike it was on the face and everything else, so you can make even more of a decision about it. But I'm not going to touch on that so much. The way I'm doing it is I'm an independent reviewer. I'm going to hit them like I would hit them to give you the figures. That's all I can do. Unless I turn up with a robot, that's the best we can do at the moment. So guys, very similar designs with the weight going forward and back. I'm just testing them in the weight forward position. I might do it in the future where the weight's back. We'll see how we get on. Of the Nike Vapor Flex against the Mizuno JPX 850. Very similar clubs. One should be trying. They're all the figures, guys. Thanks for watching. What I'm doing on my social media from now on as well, check me out on Facebook and Twitter. Every time I go and play, I'm going to give you the decision of what driver I should go out and play with, or what equipment in general, so we can see how the golf clubs are performing on the golf course as well. Guys, thanks for watching. Do subscribe, comment down below and let me know what you think about the drivers. We'll see you next time.